I got a quick weather update for you. If you thought they were done with Hurricane Dorian, you'd be wrong. Instead of winds diminishing, they're increasing in intensity. Skies cleared and floodwaters receded on Saturday from North Carolina's Outer Banks, leaving behind a muddy trail of destruction wrought by this devastating hurricane, as the powerful storm barreled toward New England and Nova Scotia. Hundreds of thousands of residents in Atlantic Canada were without power as Dorian prepared to make landfall near Halifax later Saturday evening. The Canadian Hurricane Center says the storm will unleash a heavier barrage of torrential rain, pounding surf, and howling winds. Impacts of Dorian on Canada could be catastrophic as weather models show the storm expanding in size and remaining quite intense. While it's going to be taking on extra tropical characteristics, the winds will be just as damaging. Dorian strengthened on Saturday from a Cat 1 to a Category 2 storm with 100-mile-per-hour winds up from 85 miles per hour. Canadian Hurricane Center meteorologist Ian Hubbard said that Dorian is expected to weaken and make landfall near Halifax, Nova Scotia as a Category 1 hurricane. But with the unpredictable characteristics of this storm, all bets are off. The last Category 2 hurricane to hit Canada was Hurricane Juan in 2003. The outer bands of Dorian started lashing Canada's southern New Brunswick and mainland Nova Scotia with strong winds and heavy rain. Winds exceeding 55 miles per hour have already been reported in parts of southwestern Nova Scotia and southern New Brunswick. Forecasters say the storm is likely to uproot trees and bring the possibility of flash flooding as well as likely power outages. Dorian was expected to move across central or eastern Nova Scotia late Saturday afternoon or early evening, pass near or over Prince Edward Island late Saturday, and then move to Newfoundland and Labrador on Sunday. This video right here captures the moment a large construction crane collapses in Halifax, Canada as Dorian approached. Canadian officials prepared for the possibility of flooding, washouts, and storm surges. The city of Halifax asked those along the shoreline to consider other accommodations until the storm leaves the region. You may or may not know that hurricanes in Canada are somewhat rare, in part because once the storm reaches colder Canadian waters, they tend to lose their main source of energy. But not this one. This one is set to bring plenty of rain. The kinds of rains scientists tell us they can precipitate out of the air as they continue to conduct their weather modification techniques, which they boast can even control hurricanes.
We're actually using trillion-watt lasers now, and in the laboratory, sure enough, they precipitate rain out of water vapor. Sure enough, you can actually bring down electricity down the beam. Outdoor events and agriculture and flooding and even hurricanes, all of them could be subject to weather modification.
All of them could be subject to weather modification.
Hubbard said the last hurricanes to make landfall in Canada were Hurricane Igor and Hurricane Earl in September of 2010. While tropical storm force winds buffeted southeastern Massachusetts and could sweep into Maine earlier Saturday, they're saying hurricane force winds are unlikely to pose any threat to land in the U.S. But I wouldn't put much stock in that until the storm passes. Dorian's worst damage in the U.S. appeared to be on Ocracoke Island, which, even in good weather, is accessible only by boat or air and is popular with tourists for its undeveloped beaches. If you want to see the details on that destruction, I'll leave the link to my last video on Dorian in the description below. Longtime residents who hunkered down to wait out the storm described strong but manageable winds, followed by a wall of water that flooded the first floors of many homes and forced some to await rescue from their attics. Reports indicate that water levels on properties on the North Carolina island are 13 inches higher than the levels wrought by a storm in 1944, which had long been considered the worst. Guys, 13 inches higher than the worst storm. Dorian is breaking all kinds of records. Like, one guy raised his home higher than the 1944 level and still got water inside. Meanwhile, more than 1,100 Bahamians arrived in Palm Beach, Florida after being evacuated by cruise ship from their hurricane-battered islands. The reports currently are 42 people have died and countless homes have been destroyed. The Grand Celebration cruise ship returned to its home port after setting sail on Thursday for Freeport, Grand Bahama to deliver more than 112 tons of supplies and ferry dozens of health workers and emergency crews. Guys, Dorian is not done yet. Or maybe it's better said, they're not done with Dorian yet. Keep your eyes open and stay safe. If you want to support this channel and my work here, the best thing you can do to help me beat YouTube suppression and censorship is to like and share videos like this. And leave your thoughts for the world and the Google Thought Police in the comments section below. I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.